It's one of the great scenes in high school sports in the state of Nebraska, and even better, it's for one of the oldest crowns in all of high school tournaments. News Channel Nebraska is proud to be at the Beatrice Municipal Auditorium for the 96th edition of the Mudecas Basketball Tournament. My name's Jake Bartecki. He's Andy Klassen. We are happy to be here, Andy. It's the first of 4 championship games we're going to have over the weekend. Fun's just getting started.
It really is, and we got 2 fabulous teams squaring off here to start things in our broadcast here tonight.
It's the girls B Division Championship between Palmyra and Pawnee City. 2 teams with interesting stories. Palmyra lost 2 of their great players that they had in the holiday tournament. They've since gone on to make it to a Mudecas Finals for Pawnee City. They're trying to turn the corner here, 4-7 coming in, but pulled the only upset in the tournament thus far.
Yeah, so they're going to want to keep that momentum going, ride that high. Like you said, the only upset of the whole tournament is taking down a really good BDS team, the second-ranked team coming into this one. On the other side, yes, a team devastated by injury, but they're finding a way. They're going to be tested here tonight, is the number 1 seed, Palmyra.
As you look at this Mudecas basketball tournament, it goes back generations and generations. In your estimate, you've been around it for a few years now. What makes this event so special?
Well, the event, for one, you love coming to these old buildings and how Beatrice has kind of rallied around it, put some time, put some effort into it, and it's just special. Bringing a lot of teams over the years from Kansas, so teams get to play different teams, and their classing system, right? So as Class C1 gets to play C2, things of that nature. A lot of variables that come into play that maybe wouldn't during the regular season.
The last time one of these 2 teams won this terrific tournament, the price of gas in Nebraska was less than $1. A long drought of over 20 years is set to end tonight. When we come back, we're going to take a look at a couple of our key players for Palmyra and Pawnee City. Stick around.
Need relief from pain or support for recovery? Don't just see anyone, see the trainer. From bracing to home health and rehab products, they provide the right solutions to keep you moving. Whether it's a chronic condition or sudden injury, their expert team will help you find the perfect fit. With a wide range of in-stock orthopedic, sports medicine, or rehabilitation products, See the Trainer is dedicated to improving your quality of life. Visit the professionals at See the Trainer in Columbus, Lincoln, Omaha, Bellevue, and North Platte.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery?
Pawnee City and Palmyra ready to go in our girls B division. And Andy, let's start with Pawnee City. Let's talk about strong player on their side of the floor, Nelson, for them.
Yeah, she does a really good job commanding the middle of the painted area. She doesn't score much outside, but that's okay. They like her down in the painted area. She has a presence there, defends the rim on the other side, scores at the rim on the offensive side. They're going to need a lot of that here tonight.
Well, Palmyra, on their side of things, they lost 2 key players. We'll tell you about those when we come back in just a moment. But I want to talk about Riley Walters. That's one of the players they didn't lose. Andy, she's been so influential in this program. Yeah. She's played every game since her freshman year. She's started every game. She's huge for them.
Right. Yeah, been a starter all 4 seasons, and that's going to be the calming force, the X factor that the Panthers really need. Devastated by injuries, a couple key players, as you mentioned, have gone down. What is it like having a point guard, a shooting guard, that's your calming factor, your force out there? And she leads the team in scoring, 14 points per night. So if there was one captain, one type of leader that you'd want out there to deal with the team that's dealing with injuries at midseason point, Walter's your gal.
When we come back, we'll get you ready for tip-off, give you a couple of keys to the matchup. Stick around. The Girls B Division Championship is coming up on NCN.
Trucks or other equipment, Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
The pregame show is brought to you by Custom Sports. Check them out at CustomSportsCO.com and by Johnson County Central Public School.
Darling, I believe everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry because you got somebody on your your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do, just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
We got your back.
The 96th edition of the Mudecas Basketball Tournament on News Channel Nebraska is brought to you in part by Ranky Manufacturing in Deschler and Norder Supply, your full-service agronomy specialist. Our pregame show also brought to you in part by Custom Sports. From screen-printed T-shirts to sublimated jerseys, they have what your team needs to look great. Check them out at CustomSportsCO.com and by Johnson County Central Public Schools. Well, Andy, let's talk about Palmyra here. We talked about this in our segment on camera just a moment ago, but they lost two key players in Erin Chambers. She was their second leading scorer, and Maddie Schroeder, their main defender of the post position. But the fact they've been able to bounce back, pick up 3 wins in a row, including 2 to get to the finals, says a lot about Braston Mabum's ability to command this team.
Right. Terrific job coaching, obviously, and then also I think that senior leadership we just talked about, Riley Walter a moment ago, I think that has a lot to do with it. And how about the timing of all this? It feels like coming off your holiday, your Christmas break, you know, your season can go one of two ways. And then the first thing that happens is a couple big-time injuries to a couple big-time players. Credit to Palmyra, the Lady Panthers, really across the board. Coaching, the players, sticking with it and finding a way and putting together a really nice winning streak here, landing in the championship game at the historic Mudecas tournament.
Well, Braston Mabum, in his 4th year as a head coach, they've consistently gotten better. Their win total has increased. I mentioned an interesting factoid that last time one of these two teams won a Mudecas championship, gas price pretty low. That's because it was all the way back to 2003. Palmyra's not won one since 1999. That was in the A division. And for Pawnee City, both of their championships coming in the B division in 1996 and 2003. You got to think there's a little pent-up energy for both sides that one of these two is going to end a long drought.
Yeah, I mean, this is two proud programs that have had success at this tournament over the years, just not so recent. 2003, as you mentioned, for Pawnee City, and kind of bouncing around the different classes as well. So I think both programs are very happy to be here. They're in this tournament quite often. Now they get a chance to take home the hardware. I think we're in for a really good game and a packed crowd. They're still filing in here into the old auditorium, downtown Beatrice.
2024, it was a loss in the first round for Pawnee City before Mother Nature canceled the remainder of the tournament. Meanwhile, it was a trip to the A Division semifinal for the Palmyra Panthers. They picked up a win in round number 1. Stick around when we come back. We're going to get you a look at the starting lineups, tell you a little bit more about these two schools that you'll see here tonight. A full weekend of Mudecas Championship basketball set to begin on NCN.
Teammates Mentor proudly serves 10,000 students in 192 chapters across Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, South Dakota, and Wyoming. But we need your help.
We're recruiting Teammates Mentors to help our students reach their full potential.
Meeting with a student once a week can make a positive impact in their life and create a ripple effect in our communities.
Go to teammates.org to learn how you can get involved. Join the team, be a mentor.
This broadcast is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Southeast Community College. Head to southeast.edu and discover your path to possible.
There's a look at the Pawnee City Indians, the 3 seed in the B division. Let's get a look at their starting lineup. Here's how head coach Tim Gluck is going to line them up. Kara Pierce, a senior who just cracked the top 10 for assists and steals all time at Pawnee City. She'll command the offense. Emilise Gatula, a sophomore guard at 5'7", led the team in scoring last year, leads them in rebounding this year. Then it's Kinsley Benson, Madeline Osborne, and Adeline Cisco for the Indians. For junior who hit a buzzer beater for a win against JCC for her only three-pointer of the year, senior Addison Vasa. Grace Green, another senior, and then two seniors to wrap out a all-5 senior lineup. Kaylee Thompson, and of course we talked about her, the high-skilled Riley Walter. Angie Klassen, we're getting ready to go. Your keys for either side here tonight.
Well, I think it's going to get back to basics, right? Especially with Palmyra dealing with injuries. They got to take care of the basketball, limit those turnovers. And on the opposite side, Pawnee City, right, with their upset, I think they just want to keep this, ride this high, ride that momentum, get out, get after it. They got to have a fast start here tonight.
Well, it'll be Adeline Cisco, the freshman post player for Pawnee City, to take the tip as we get this one underway. She'll go up against Kaylee Thompson. The tip is up, and it is won by the Panthers. Neither of these teams have won this tournament since 2003, and a hook shot from the right block, put up and in. Good shot by Grace Green.
Yeah, and just right away, love that. Early in the possession, get the defense, beat the defense to the spot, take advantage.
With the basketball here for Pawnee City on the opening possession, a drive and a miss underneath the shot from Kinsley Benson. Left side, jumper no good. Cisco able to track it down.
Cisco did a great job boxing out on the left side.
Now we've got our first foul of the ball game here. Foul against Grace Green, who scored the opening bucket. It's a 2-0 lead here for the Panthers. Ball deflected out of bounds. Good defensive play, good vision there by Madeline Osborne.
Yeah, and Thompson jumping that passing lane, getting her hands on it, kind of anticipating that skip pass.
Ball loose underneath, and a tie-up. Had a lot of jump balls this week. If anybody's paid attention to the tournament, that has been a theme. And they also know there's a bit of an adjustment period for shooting and taking care of the basketball once you start playing in the auditorium. It's just a different style of gym than your average high school gymnasium.
Different feel. It's a little louder, kind of compacted, and it is. It's the old auditorium style with all the seats on one side and bleachers on the other, or what would you call it, the stage? That's what I was looking for.
Well, that's where we're at right now. So the view that everyone sees at home is a drive and a bucket by Kaylee Thompson makes it 4-0. That view right there is from the bleachers.
Right.
All on one side. 4-0 in favor of the top seed Palmyra Panthers, 7-5. They got past Meridian 42-30 in the semifinals to punch their ticket to the finals. Bad shot there from Cisco. She got turned around. There was a lot of contact. Didn't get the angle she wanted. Now driving in is Osborne. She's fouled and will go to the line.
Really good job by Osborne tracking down that tough shot from Cisco, but then bringing it back across the center lane, drawing that foul. And like you mentioned, kind of took her time getting to her spot.
Osborne leading scorer for the Indians, 8 points per game. She converts the first free throw, whereas a unit, Pawnee City has not been great, 48% at the line. Osborne at 57%.
Got her listed at 5'8", but you see that hair. She can wears that a little higher. She can get up to 5'9", 5'10" on any given night, depending where she puts that bun.
You think it makes a difference in the game?
Probably not.
Probably not. It could. You never know. Pass inside the arc to Grace Green, looking for her second bucket. Nearly had it. They'll catch Adeline Cisco with the foul. Cisco was hit pretty hard on her shot on the other end. Kind of had the same momentum there, and this time she gets whistled for the foul, and Green goes to the line.
Yeah, I love the aggressive nature that Grace Green is playing with right now. Barreling down the right side of the lane, driving into that contact. Knew it was probably going to come her way.
Green misses the first free throw. Started getting her way into the starting lineup in her sophomore year. Now a senior, averaging 5.5 points, 4 rebounds per game. Pretty consistent, but she misses 2 free throws here. And the lead stays at a pair for the Panthers. Here's Osborne knifing her way down the lane, and she gets hit on the arm, and we've got a foul here against Grace Green. She picks up her second of the game. 2 quick ones on one of the main offensive factors for Braston Maibaum.
Excellent job working that ball down the center of the court. And yeah, no one stepped up to stop ball, so great awareness there from Madeline Osborne, taking it all the way to the cup.
Free throw off the mark by Osborne. Gives us a chance to thank our first quarter sponsor, as the first quarter is brought to you in part by John Henry's, our family serving yours. Osborne's second trip to the line tonight. She goes 1 for 2 once again, and she's got 3 points in the ball game. Ball across the timeline. Riley Walter, our key player for the Panthers, brought it across, and now Earhart drives to the left block. Riley Walter started every game since her freshman year. This shot will trickle out of bounds off the air ball and go back to Pawnee City. First turnover of the ball game for either side. 12 a game for Pawnee City, 13 for Palmyra.
Allows for the 1-2-2 press, and right away the Panthers with the turnover.
The pass was ripped away by Xylee Badicher, who just checked into the ball game and gets quick 2 points, and it's 6-3. And Palmyra's going to stay in that press.
Good timeout.
And a timeout is called by Timothy Cluck. 6-3 the score in the early goings of our B Division Championship. Defense to offense, and the Panthers lead by 3.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. By Schaefer's, we are more than just TVs and appliances. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy. This broadcast is brought to you by Western Oil. Make your first and last stop to and from the game at your nearest Speedy Mart or good-to-go convenience stores today. See the trainer. Need relief from pain or support for recovery? Don't see just anyone. See the trainer. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
6-3 lead for the Palmyra Panthers here, and they force another turnover. That press from Braston Maibaum's causing some troubles for Pawnee City.
Yeah, it really is, especially when it's allowed to be set up like that out of a timeout or a dead ball.
Long 2 hung on the rim, didn't fall for Xylee Badicher. Back the other way, Pawnee City. Here's a 3-ball on its way. Gatula missed it, but Cisco with the size calls in the rebound, and the bank is open. Kara Price, they'll call it a long 2, but it's a 1-point game.
Those second shot opportunities, Jake, they'll kill you.
Just across the timeline, and a giveaway here for Palmyra. Price up the floor. Pierce, that is, to Benson, who lays it up and in, and it's a 7-6 Palmyra lead, or Pawnee City lead, just like that.
Fantastic job by Gatula, not only tracking down the loose ball, but then advancing it ahead for the breakaway lay-in.
And a foul underneath here. Cisco catches her second, so now Adeline Cisco and Grace Green with a pair each in the early going. That's 2 huge, crucial players for either side.
It really is, Jake. And Cisco leads all rebounders by a wide margin. She's already hauled in 4 rebounds here tonight, and she's going to take a seat. Let's see how the Indians are going to adjust here without their leading rebounder in there. And a defensive presence, because Palmyra is really trying to pound that ball inside.
Thompson made the first, and she can't convert on the second. Rebound chased down in stride by Gatula. And Osborne parts the seas and puts it in off the glass.
A little bit of a Euro look there. The hesitation, Jake Bartecki to the rim.
Could you make a move like that to part the seas and get 2?
Of course I could. Who do you think you're talking? No, not at all. That was awesome, awesome move there from Osborne.
He's got 5 points early going here. Averages 8 points, 5 rebounds per game. It's 9.3 points per game over her last 5. Badicher to her left. Riley Walter is yet to find the bottom of the rim. Averages 13.5 points per game for the Panthers. Top of the key three on its way. Walter looking to find three there. Off the mark, and the rebound goes out of bounds. This will stay with Palmyra.
So there it is right there. Charlie Badicher was able to get in there and nearly snag that rebound. I don't think that would have happened if Adeline Cisco was in there on the block.
Madeline Osborne causes some havoc on the inbound. It'll be a jump ball, but nearly a steal, and Pawnee City had numbers up the floor if they wanted them.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of had a sigh of relief there because Pawnee City was thinking, oh no, don't get the foul for the reach-in. And of course, Palmyra fans are thinking, no, don't lose the ball, don't get a takeaway.
Walter bounces one to her right. Vasa able to find Kaylee Thompson. Thompson bounces it inside, but right to Osborne, and now a giveaway up floor by Pawnee City. Palmyra with the basketball. Wide open at the left block, but unable to finish is Charlie Badicher, and the throw up floor here with a 2-on-1. A whistle and a foul as Benson drove to the block.
Getting a little frantic out there, wasn't it? Kind of back and forth. Obvious foul there. Thompson getting her with the body.
So we'll have an inbound from underneath the basket substitution here. Audrey Earhart will check into the ball game. Osborne off the left block. Steps to her right. Tough angle shot, partially fading away. Rebound tracked down. And up the floor, it's Vasa. Walter took a bit of a hip check, but dribbled it out of bounds. They will not make a call there. Instead, it's turnover number 3 for the Panthers. So it's a 9-7 Pawnee City lead.
Oh, nice effort there for Vasa. But you're seeing how the Indians are playing without their freshman Cisco, you know, the big post presence. They're putting additional defenders down low, administering the double team early, not allowing Palmyra to establish themselves down the block.
Petula with the inbound, goes all the way up to half court, and she's able to find Ottersburg, but a deflection out of bounds to prevent what would have been an easy 2 points. Great defensive play here by Charlie Badicher.
Yeah, look at the hustle there from Badicher.
The inbound to the right block. It's Ottersburg who is ready to go up with it. Badicher again trying to find a deflection out of bounds. But that's a foul, and that'll send Ottersburg, a 50% free throw shooter, to the line.
Well, that was just a really nice design to that inbounds plays there. Had multiple players setting screens there, and Petula had to sell it. She had to look right, then a beautiful bounce pass to the left.
Ottersburg, who started the game off the bench tonight, has her first point, and it's a 10-7 Pawnee City lead. Palmyra wants to talk things over. One more free throw for Ottersburg when we return. 9-7 Indians here in the first.
Hi, I'm Baylor Shireman, proud to call Aurora, Nebraska home. From dreaming big in a small town to being drafted by the Boston Celtics, I've always aimed for the best. That's why I rely on Roe Buick in Grand Island and Roe Chevrolet in Aurora for my vehicles. When you're driven to succeed, you choose a winning team. Before you drive away in your next car, check with the team that knows how to win. Roe. It's the Roe you know.
Get to Roe.
The 96th edition of the Mudecas basketball tournament is brought to you in part by Fillmore County Hospital, Downtown Family Vision in Wilbur, Hovitt Funeral Home in Wymore, and Griffith's Hoovendick Chapel in Beatrice, DeWitt, and Adams. Andy Klassen, 2:50 to go in the first here, 10-7 Pawnee City. A lot of helter-skelter.
Yes.
We've got 6 combined turnovers. Not unusual for either of these two teams, but hard to establish a rhythm.
You're exactly right, and that's what both coaching staffs got to be harping on right now, whether it's Tim Cluck of Pawnee City or Preston Mybaum. Cleaning up those turnovers got to be paramount for really both squads.
Palmyra with the basketball. Ottersburg missed the second free throw, made the first before we had a timeout. Down to 2.5 to go in the opening frame. And a deflection and a steal. The steal created by Ottersburg, and it's brought up the floor here by Madeline Osborne.
Yeah, Pawnee City's doing a really nice job muddling things up in the middle of the lane.
And there you see an example of that on the defensive end for Palmyra. Addison Vasa with a tie-up that results in a jump ball. Possession arrow favoring Pawnee City, but again, just not much to work with there, and that's the kind of scrum you're going to find yourself in if you try to go to the paint.
Yeah, the Panthers have done just a really nice job with their help defense. You can tell they communicate well with each other.
Trouble on the inbound here, pass well long. Gatula, the sophomore, tracks it down. Stops at the right wing, kicks it backside. Kara Pierce goes inside to Osborne, pass deflected, and again, there's Vasa causing a tie-up. Good recognition of the possession arrow, because that gets the Panthers the basketball back.
Yeah, and you're seeing multiple defenders try to jump each and every passing lane, tying the ball up, get the double team. Worked good for a takeaway on that one after the jump.
And a foul up floor here on Gatula. Little hip check delivered to Xylee Badicher. Gatula picks up her first foul of the ball game. Emelise Gatula, leading scorer last year, averaged 9.5 points per game. Leads in rebounds this year with 84. Up at the top of the key, thinking about the three was Badicher. Instead, she drives in, lot of contact, no call. And the rebound picked up by Gatula, who slams on the gas and works it up floor. The mid-ranger off the mark for Benson. Indians got the offensive rebound, but a tough angle on the putback for Ottersburg goes out of bounds. 1:31 to go here in the first 10-7.
Yeah, went right back up after the board, just missing. Oh yeah, that, I don't know, that kind of looked like it might have went off a Panther.
It's Palmyra basketball regardless. 1:20 to go in the opening frame. Thompson, the primary post player, doesn't have a ton of height. She likes to play down low, and here's a pass inside. Riley Walter. Took her a while to finally enter the scorebook, Andy, but she does it in a big way with an and-one opportunity from the left block.
Yeah, you know, she plays a lot from the point guard, two guard, shooting guard, but she's so versatile. She can fill any void, and right now, you saw how she was able to slide down and make herself available like a post player. And nice move with the finish.
It's been a rough start at the free throw line in this one for Palmyra. They're now just 2 of 6 after the make by Walters, but makes it a tie ball game here and a giveaway going back the other way. Palmyra with the basketball now, 1:03 to go, opening frame, chance to get back out in front.
Yeah, I mean, and it's due to their full court pressure. When they get that 1-2-2 press set up, it's causing problems.
3 ball off the mark from the far wing by Kaylee Thompson, tracked down by the Indians. Kinsley Benson passes one right side to Gatula. This is Kara Pierce, who splits 2 defenders, doesn't get the friendly roll, and not quite enough time to hold it for the last shot for Palmyra, but they might try. Here's a drive in the lane. Scratch that. Throwing one up was Walter. She's unable to convert. Now a takeaway down low. Walter goes up with it and gets fouled. It'll go to the line off a gutsy defensive steal by Addison Vasa.
Yeah, they're just really getting after it defensively. Are the Palmyra Panthers just battling for each and every rebound. Then they don't give up on the play. Look at that anticipation. Great job by Vasa, waiting for that little outlet pass.
Riley Walter, bend to the knees. First free throw, good.
And not only that, Vasa was aware if she were to come up, she'd get called for the travel. So she found a teammate in Walter, got her with a bounce pass. Nice feed for the assist.
Second free throw on its way. This one doesn't fall for Walter, so she goes 1 for 2. But it is an 11-10 lead for the Panthers. They played from behind in most of this first quarter. Pierce with a jump shot, no good. And Walter the rebound, and Palmyra with a chance to add to the lead at the end of the frame.
Oh.
Walter with the spin move, lays it up and in. 6 points for Riley Walter, all in the final minute of the frame. and the first quarter comes to an end. The 96th Mudecas basketball tournament is brought to you in part by Diode Technologies, your local technology experts, and Tri-County Public School. A late run from Riley Walter has the top seed Panthers back out in front. They lead at 13-10, 8 minutes in the books.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
This broadcast is brought to you by Beatrice Movies, located on Court Street in Beatrice, Carlson Irrigation, your Rinky dealer in Shickley, and by Community Insurance Group in Tecumseh, Sterling, Humboldt, and Pawnee City.
Is the score at the end of the opening frame as we get the second quarter underway. Riley Walter, a little personal run there. Yeah. Leading scorer on either side right now. Leading scorer in the stat book coming in. She's showing why.
It's a little advantage there, sneaky advantage when she has to go play a post position. She comes down with that rebound. She can kickstart her own fast break, and that's what you saw on that last occasion.
Palmyra 13, Pawnee City 10, but a jump shot up and good. Adeline Cisco, she's not a decoy from shooting the basketball. She can get it done from outside the paint. She did right there.
Yeah, great job of just collecting the ball, keeping it high, going right to the rack for the finish.
13-10 the score in favor of Paul, was 13-10, now 15-12, layup up and good, and Palmyra adds back to their lead that they held at the end of the first. Pass to the corner, long two on its way. Benson unable to convert. And the rebound tracked down underneath by Addison Vasa. Vasa up the floor to Grace Green. The top of the key, Walter passes to the backside. And this is Green with it. A little stagnant offensively on this possession for Palmyra, Andy.
Yeah, and sometimes their spacing gets off a little bit where that ball gets over-rotated or a little sticky. You have multiple players consuming the same area, and hey, Pawnee City takes advantage, gets a turnover.
Back the other way off the turnovers. Grace Green works her way around Katula and works back to her right hand. 17-12 in favor of the Panthers.
Just fantastic footwork there, and it was also, she kind of used that to kind of slow down her momentum, slow down herself, and finish with her strong hand the right side as she maneuvered around the defender.
And a turnover here for Pawnee City, their sixth of the ball game. Both teams having some problems taking care of the basketball. That's the sixth for Pawnee City, as I mentioned, 5 for Palmyra in the giveaway category.
Yeah, and, you know, we mentioned it as one of the keys to this game, and it's definitely been a headache for both coaching staffs.
Underneath, another bucket for Thompson, who's up to 7 points. She's starting to make a living at that left block.
Yeah, well, my mom said Thompson was going to be a key here tonight due to her height, and boy, he's spot on.
Quick bucket on the other end as well, and all of a sudden this pace picking up. Kinsley Benson, 6.4 points per game. She's well past halfway to that. She's got 4 in the first half, and Palmyra with a giveaway, and Pawnee City gives it right back. Unable to finish under the rim was Badicher, and finally Pawnee City will get it across half court to clear. Osborne at the right block, able to initiate the contact, and they'll catch Audrey Earhart for the foul here. Osborne will go back to the free throw line for the 3rd time tonight. Got a chance to make this a 1-score game.
Yeah, just great ball movement there. You saw Benson with the quick pass, finding their leading scorer in Madeline Osborne, and yeah, Miss Osborne, she knows how to finish. She knows what she's doing down there.
Osborne with the free throw attempt, that one up and good. She's got 6 points in the ball game. Our second quarter tonight on NCN is brought to you in part by Steve Carper and the crew at O Street Carpet. 6 points in the ball game for Osborne, looking to make it 7, and she will, and does. And it's 19-16 Palmyra. Addison Vasa passes left to Badicher. Here's a three by Grace Green. It's the first made triple of the night for either side, and it gives Palmyra their largest lead of the ball game.
Oh, nice drive.
Just like two heavyweight fighters delivering blows here. Once you think there's a dagger,
yeah,
the answer comes from the either side, and this time it's Kinsley Benson who draws the and one foul against Charlie Badicher.
Yeah, Benson caught the defense kind of sagging in a little too much, so she drove it into that defense and got a really nice look, a runner down the middle of the lane.
Free throw on its way for Benson. That one off the mark. And we had a lane violation, so she'll get another crack at it.
Yeah, this is just tough. I mean, for both coaching staffs, they've got to be frustrated with how many mistakes are being made in the terms of turnovers and like what we saw right there, a lane violation.
Well, let's see if Benson can make Palmyra pay for it. She's unable to. So it stays a 4-point ball game. The top seed Panthers looking for their first Mudecas championship since 1999. Off the miss, Cisco with the rebound. Gives it back to Erica Gira, who's into the ball game for the first time. 5-foot sophomore guard. 24 points in 13 games played this season. Pierce down the middle of the lane, a lot of contact. There'll be a push foul and 2 at the line coming up for the senior point guard.
Yeah, Pawnee's doing a really nice job against this man-to-man defense, attacking the center of the court. And they have the guards. They got that quick first step, able to get that penetration. Past couple of possessions have been drawing those fouls out.
And struggles continue for both sides of the free throw line. Pawnee City 7 of 12. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Palmyra 2 of 5. Pawnee City, as we mentioned earlier, isn't great at the line as a group. They're 48% on the season. Pierce gets the friendly spin. She's up to 3 points, and it's a 22-19 Palmyra lead. This is Riley Walter. Head coach Preston Maibaum, very complimentary of her. All the cliches is what she brings to the table. We've talked about it. She started every game since her freshman year, now a senior. Kick out 3 is on its way. Too strong for Badicher, and Osborne the rebound underneath.
Not a bad look, though. Found a shooter with some space.
3-point shooting's been a struggle as well, Andy. We've only seen 1 make tonight from downtown.
It's not really the strong suit for either of these squads. You've seen it, both teams really like to work it inside, and that's their strong suit, and that's the type of players that they have to work with. So I think that a little bit of that's by design.
Looking to change that is Badicher here. Xylee Badicher with a miss from long range, but the rebound by Charlie Badicher underneath. She went back up with it and got fouled. That one against Erica Gira, who just checked into the ball game for the first time.
Yeah, that's where Gira's got to get over there, establish herself, and box out, not wait until while it's happening. Puts you a half step behind in a tough spot where you can pick up fouls like you saw right there.
Badicher with the free throw up and good. Charlie Badicher with her first point of the night. 2.2 points, 2.3 rebounds per game, largely because, Andy, she's had to fill in for those injuries.
Yeah, and it's just showing you the versatility of some of these players. You know, they're not playing the position that they started the season at, but they're riding this 3-game winning streak and found themselves in the championship game.
Erica Gira looking for the 3 off the bench, unable to find it, but a foul underneath as well to make matters worse. It's on Osborne, who picks up a quick second foul.
Yeah, she just did not have position there. Credit Riley Walter, the player you're talking about a moment ago, getting position and boxing out.
Walter just inside the 3-point line. Palmyra works it to that near side corner, and here's a pickpocket steal by Gira. The sophomore with nifty hands was able to take it away from Grace Green. Pass down inside. Benson with it. Now she goes out to Gira, looking to make up for the miss. Ooh. Left that one short, but didn't miss it by much. Osborne tried to swat it away underneath from Vasa. We'll have a jump ball here. This possession will stay with the Panthers. 23-19 the score, 2:47 to go. Here's another look at Madeline Osborne, who nearly had the steal. Gira just a step late getting in there to throw it up floor.
And she hustled all the way down after just off the mark, missing that three. So very active as Gira getting into the game here.
That's now 3 straight possessions with a 3-point attempt for Palmyra. That one off the mark as well from Baticher. Here's Gatulu, tries one from the top of the key. I think that was a rush shot. And Palmyra, for the 9th time in this first half, turns it over.
Yeah, just neither side's really shooting the ball well from beyond the arc. That's got to be a travel.
It is indeed. Turnover for Palmyra. Gives us a chance to stick around for our halftime. Brought to you in part by Visit Kearney. Find it all and experience it all in Kearney. And also our halftime highlights. We'll take a look at some of the plays that got us to this point. They're brought to you in part by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. 3 is up. This one left short. And the rebound tracked down in the corner, thrown up floor, and thrown out of bounds. So both teams trade turnovers once again.
Yeah, right idea. Like it, trying to push the pace, push the tempo. Panthers trying to turn this into a track meet a little bit, but got to take care of the ball.
You got to think they'd like their advantage in that type of a ball game, but they just haven't been able to establish it yet. Here's a 3 on its way for Pierce. Caught a piece of the glass and fell to the hard court. Picked up initially by Baticher, but now you've got Benson who comes up with it. She goes to the rim and gets fouled.
Yeah, and Xylee Baticher, he'll either commit the foul or give up an easy shot across the middle of the lane. And once again, the turnover, the defense turning into offense was the difference.
At the line, shooting 2 is Benson, 54% at the stripe this season. Her first one is off the mark, no good. UDECA's basketball on News Channel Nebraska is brought to you in part by Western United Mutual Insurance, home office in Wilbur, Brooding Grain and Feed Company, Mark Weirs with EMC Seed Services, and Johnson County Hospital in Tecumseh. Second free throw up and good for Benson, so she's got herself 7 points in the ball game now as she goes 1 for 2, and a pass left side to Xylee Baticher. Baticher to the top of the key. Walter, she works it back to Xylee Baticher in the corner. 1:20 to go in the first half in a back and forth frame that's mostly been dominated by Palmyra, or controlled by Palmyra. We've got a whistle and a foul here. Cameron Ottersberg picks up her first. And an inbound to come with a fresh 35 on the shot clock as well. That's worth noting as well, Andy. We've talked about this on the radio side of things this week. This is the first MUDECA's tournament with the 35-second shot clock.
Yeah, but it also shows you how Beatrice really takes care of this auditorium. Just has a perfect bounce. We see another turnover, but they don't just let it go. Everything's nice, new, still has the charm. You still see the old brickwork and the wooden chairs, in the auditorium. But then you see the advancements, the nice new floor, wood floor of the court, the flooring outside on the concourse. So just a really nice balance and a well-done job, once again, keeping this auditorium alive and vibrant. And the addition of the shot clocks can attest to that.
Couldn't have said it better myself, and obviously the Beatrice Kiwanis Club works so hard year in and year out to put this tournament on for the fine basketball folks in this region of the state. Osborne's turnaround shot, no good. Looking to go coast to coast was Baticher. She missed. Second effort put up by Vasa. That's no good. And a lot of contact on the rebound. But Palmyra unable to convert, and here comes Pawnee City, and a pass goes long as Benson was looking to Madeline Osborne. Call it now 12 turnovers in the first half for the Indians.
Yeah, and I like what Benson was trying to do here. Get it to your leading scorer in transition. That's Madeline Osborne. Just just out of reach, though. And we have another turnover.
21 of them in this first half.
Wow.
Adeline Cisco took a seat for Pawnee City. 13 seconds to go first half, and Palmyra with trouble getting it up the floor. Oh boy, it looked like Green dribbled it off her foot. Officials going to say it stays with Palmyra. Some of the Pawnee City fans didn't love that. Here we go, final 5 seconds of the half here. Bounce pass to Walter. She tries the three, tried to bank it in. Offensive rebound, put back at the horn is up and down for Audrey Earhart. The three-point shots haven't been falling, but there's been a lot of offensive rebounds that'll get you buckets like we saw right there.
Pawnee City had a late substitution there, probably trying to protect some of their bigs, their centers, regular starters from foul trouble there, but I'm thinking you might give yourself up for an offensive rebound or something inside. That's exactly what Palmyra Panthers were able to do there in the closing seconds, taking full advantage of the substitutions.
We'll be right back for our Visit Kearney halftime show. We'll give you some analysis from the first half. We'll tell you a little bit about the tournament as a whole, some other scores and other champions that have been crowned, games tomorrow, and of course, our halftime highlights. We'll be back after this.
This broadcast is brought to you by Landmark Implement, with 16 locations throughout Nebraska and Kansas, and by Premier GMC. We are professional grade. This broadcast is brought to you by Precision Seed and Chemical and Friend, Scooters Coffee in Beatrice, and by Twin Rivers in Fairbury and Beatrice, the high-volume, low-hassle place to buy. This broadcast is brought to you by Sunland Seed. Mike Holtmeyer, your Pioneer Seed Wrap with Sunland Seed of Beatrice. And by Weekend Warrior Roofing in Chicley.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
This broadcast is brought to you by Beatrice Movies, located on Court Street in Beatrice, Carlson Irrigation, your Rinky dealer in Chicley, and by Community Insurance Group in Tecumseh, Sterling, Humboldt, and Pawnee City.
Our halftime show on News Channel Nebraska is brought to you in part by Visit Kearney. Find it all in the central Nebraska town of Kearney. He's Andy Klassen. I'm Jake Bartecki. There's a look at the auditorium. There's us if we give you a wave on the camera here from the stage. 25-20, Palmyra leading Pawnee City at the break. Andy, really hard for both sides to establish a rhythm in that one. You're talking 12 turnovers for Pawnee City, 9 for, there we are. I'll give it a wave over there. There we are. 9 turnovers for Palmyra.
Yeah.
It's just difficult to establish that sort of a rhythm.
Yeah, and I think we got to give a little bit of credit to both defensive teams here and the pressure they're putting onto the ball. Palmyra, when they're able to get into that 1-2-2 press, boy, that's really difficult for Pawnee City to break. And we've seen a number of turnovers in transition where Pawnee City looks like they got a take, but that recovery defense gets there, gets to the spot, and bats the ball away or causes a turnover. Really, both teams, as you mentioned, unable to get into much of an offensive rhythm there throughout that first half.
3 players are tied at 7 points apiece for the team in scoring leads in this one. Kinsley Benson has 7, Maddie Osborne has 7. for Pawnee City. Also with 7 for Palmyra, but with 3 fouls, that would be Grace Green. Let's take a look at our halftime highlights, which are brought to you in part by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Stunning engagement collections, exceptional diamonds, and dazzling gemstones can be found at their Lincoln and Grand Island locations. Once again, this is the B Division final. Top seed Panthers against Pawnee City. Andy Klassen, nice move in the lane here. Kaylee Thompson fakes with the left foot, goes with the right hand, easy two.
Nifty footwork, and we saw that early from the Panthers. They wanted to get the ball inside.
And they did that again here. The steal by Walter, the basket by Badicher, off the turnover by Pawnee City. Here's another bucket off a turnover. Lead pass by Gatula, throws it up floor. Benson with nothing but the rim in front of her.
Yeah, the 5'5" sophomore Benson doing a fabulous job running the court.
And this might have been the play of the first half. Beautiful Euro step off the right side of the lane by Madeline Osborne. Again, she had 7 points in the first half. 3 players tied at that same figure. Riley Walter, took her a while to find her rhythm and score, but she finally did.
Yeah.
That was her second bucket of the first half, had an and one as well. And then Grace Green with the only made triple of the first half. Palmyra 1 of 9 from downtown. Pawnee City 0 of 6. And off a 3-point miss, the putback by Audrey Earhart for her only points of the first half makes it a 25-20 lead after 16 minutes. Those are our halftime highlights. Once again, they're brought to you in part by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Now, Auntie, I want to give you an update on some of the other games that will happen and have happened. We have 2 third-place games in the Mudecas tournament gone final. Diller Odell, Miley Weirs, the UNK basketball commit. They roll Freeman 52-34. Pretty impressive stuff Miley Weirs was able to bring.
Yeah, you can see why she's the UNK commit, just a terrific basketball program of the next level, that being college. And just the command she had on the court. She carries a presence about her like a lot of those next-level players do.
And Meridian rolling to the third-place crown in the B division. They beat BDS 48-29. Still to come tonight, I think this is going to be a phenomenal basketball game. Falls City Sacred Heart, Johnson Brock.
Yeah.
2 teams that have found themselves well within the rankings in our News Channel Nebraska polls. They're 2 top seeds in the A division. That one's going to be exciting. And it just feels like every game, the energy in this place gets a little more.
You're exactly right. And 2 teams that have had a lot of success over the years at the Mudecas basketball tournament. And it kind of feels like a preview of something we might see on down the road, maybe even in Lincoln.
We shall see. That's coming up tonight. When we come back, we'll give you some keys to the second half and take a look at the full first half stats. Stick with us.
This broadcast is brought to you by Landmark Implement, with 16 locations throughout Nebraska and Kansas, and by Premier GMC. We are professional grade. This broadcast is brought to you by Precision Seed and Chemical and Friend, Scooters Coffee in Beatrice, and by Twin Rivers in Fairbury and Beatrice, the high-volume, low-hassle place to buy. This broadcast is brought to you by Sunland Seed, Mike Holtmeyer, your Pioneer Seed Wrap with Sunland Seed of Beatrice, and by Weekend Warrior Roofing in Chicley.
The Palmyra faithful getting into it, loving it, up 5 here at the break as we get ready to start the second half. But before that, Angie, we talk about this every game, and it's worth mentioning once again. That is the Kearney Sportsplex. What a cool deal this is going to be coming to Central Nebraska.
It really is, and I'm getting excited not only for the tournaments and the camps that they're going to host for the in-state talent and local boys and girls over the years, but they already got tournaments booked, bringing in kids from Florida, Texas, California. There's going to be some really cool opportunities from tournaments to showcase high schoolers, middle schoolers from across the nation. So tip of the cap to Kearney, putting up the Kearney Sportsplex, getting that thing going.
And it's centrally located as well, right off of I-80. You can't miss it. It's a gigantic facility. Multiple basketball courts, track, pickleball courts as well. They've got all that good stuff, so a very exciting deal coming to Central Nebraska here this spring. Let's take a look at the first half stats. Palmyra 1 of 9 from 3 in the ball game with 9 turnovers. They were 3 of 7 at the line. Their scoring breakdown, Audrey Earhart with the buzzer beater at the half. She's got 2 points. Those were only points, were that buzzer beater. 7 points for Grace Green, 1 point for Charlie Badiger, 2 for Xylee Badiger, 7 for Kaylee Thompson, and 6 for Riley Walter. Turnovers were a problem for Pawnee City. They had a dozen of them. They were 9 of 15 at the line, 0 of 6 from 3. Their scoring breakdown, 3 points from Kara Pierce, 7 from Kinsley Benson, 1 point from Cameron Ottersberg, 7 points from Madeline Osborne, and 2 for Adeline Cisco. Angie, a key to the second half for both sides.
I'm going to keep it the same as it was in the first half. Who can limit the turnovers? Who can secure the basketball, take care, treat every possession as if it is gold. Take care of that ball, no more empty possessions, really, for both teams. That should be the war cry, for rallying cry for both coaching staffs coming out of this halftime break.
25-20 the score. It'll be Pawnee City to start with the basketball here in the second half. To the rack, laying one up but unable to finish is Kinsley Benson, and an offensive foul, or I believe, no, she stepped out of bounds. Turnover.
She shuffled the feet right before the contact, so a little bit of a travel there. Another turnover on the very first possession. And Palmyra, I like how they're able to, well, they give the ball right back on their own travel, but Palmyra will slide in and out of a man-to-man defense. Just give Pawnee City a different look every so often, and you got to believe that's been working throughout this game.
Neither side's been able to really establish much control over the ball game. Palmyra's led most of the way. They've never been able to pull away.
No, and both teams, as you mentioned during the breakdown of the stats, had opportunities, whether it be lost in transition, some baskets that weren't able to convert it, and then from the foul line, obviously not finishing from the foul line.
Another turnover there for Pawnee City, and another for Palmyra as well. Baseline drive from the corner by Grace Green as she gives it back to Pawnee City. Our third quarter tonight brought to you in part by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of your pain, not just the symptoms. 7:14 to go in the third quarter, which is just underway here on NCN. Shot up, no good, and a tie up for it underneath. Jump ball going to Palmyra.
Yeah, Pawnee City just having a tough time getting that ball inside. Nice job playing it straight up. Not coming down with that bar arm.
And here's a loose ball tapped forward to Benson, who has it deflected away. It ended up in the hands of Katula. Misses once, misses twice. And the rebound up the floor for Palmyra. Both teams with nothing but turnovers on every possession, except for that last one off the miss by Pawnee City here in the second half. Underneath the basket, caught a piece of the padding, did Vasa. Rebound loose, put back off the window, no good for Riley Walter, one of our key players we talked about earlier tonight. The other one, Madeline Osborne, who has the ball now at the wing.
Cisco did a fantastic job playing the ball straight up because they were working it inside.
Cisco unable to find any of the rim there, had the mismatch, didn't make the move that needed to happen to find the bottom of the rim. 2 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. We're still looking for our first bucket in the frame. Walter, underneath. Unable to finish was Audrey Earhart. And the rebound by Gatula. She brings it up the floor, grabs 6.5 rebounds per game. Another giveaway underneath the basket here by Pawnee City. The throw up forward, no look bounce pass by Riley Walter. A beautiful feed to Grace Green. She's got 9 points and leads the game in scoring.
Walter taking full advantage of the 2-on-1.
Grace Green, 5.5 points per game. That number's continued to go up with more and more injuries, unfortunately plaguing the Panthers, but she's going to check out here along with Audrey Earhart. As again, she's playing with 3 fouls.
Yeah, got to be careful, no doubt about that. And Pawnee City continues to try to hammer the ball inside, even when there's multiple defenders there.
Osborne had one roll through her legs off the inbound. Awkward angle for Vasa. She's not able to finish, but she collects the offensive rebound. Kicks it back left. Over to Badicher. Riley Walter off an exchange with Thompson, goes to the rack, too strong, and the rebound chased down and thrown up floor. Kara Pierce to Osborne, charging towards the rim, and she goes to the line after the foul.
Like there's a lid on the hoop here for both of these teams.
Here's another look at it, Andy.
Ouch.
Not a lot there, and then you also see Thompson got something in the face or eye area after the play.
Yeah, kind of took the brunt of the contact there and got whistled for the foul.
Udecas Basketball NCN brought to you in part by Schmidt Excavating out of Adams, Exeter, Milligan Public Schools, and Mingy Tree Service in Odell. Free throw off the mark for Madeline Osborne. Osborne has yet to make a three this year, Andy. She came into tonight's game with 96 points. She's now over 100 on the season, but she's done all of it inside the arc.
Yeah.
Little interesting.
Well, you can see her game. She loves to score off the dribble. She also makes herself available down the block. She has probably the highlight of the half, right, with that Euro step down the right side of the lane.
She's shifty. Timothy Cluck, a native of Schuyler, a couple of years as an assistant coach, got to groom a lot of these same players through lower levels of basketball, and now they're playing for a Udecas championship. Three ball short by Earhart, rebound tracked down, another three-point attempt here, this time by Badicher, and it's a couple of misses and a deflection out of bounds on the inbound. Good hustle play by Vasa, but it'll stay with Pawnee City. And here comes Grace Green back into the ball game.
And that's going to allow for the full court pressure here. It's like another 1-2-2 set.
Benson bounces it to Gatula.
Whoops.
Who throws it up floor. Deflection and a turnover. Walter drops one down to Xylee Badicher, who scores her first bucket since the first quarter. And Palmyra builds up their largest lead of the game. It's 9 at 29-20. Some nifty passing under the rim.
Yeah, great job by Riley Walter, driving across the lane, opening up her teammate there for the easy lay-in after the turnover.
At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they provide comprehensive orthopedic health care. Their physicians are highly skilled in all areas of orthopedic and sports medicine, including spine surgery, foot and ankle, hand and upper extremities, fracture care, and total joint replacement. Their expertise includes the medical management of injuries through physical and rehabilitative methods or surgical intervention. To schedule an appointment or to learn more about Nebraska Orthopedic Center and their family of 25 physicians, go online to nebraskaortho.com. That's nebraskaortho.com. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination.
This broadcast is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Southeast Community College. Head to southeast.edu and discover your path to possible.
The 96th edition of the Udecas Basketball Tournament on News Channel Nebraska, brought to you in part by Exeter Milligan Public Schools, Mingy Tree Service in Odell, and Pinnacle Bank, member FDIC. Up the floor here, and about 5 seconds into game clock time, another turnover. That time, Pawnee City giving it away for the 19th time.
Garrett just lost the handle, knew she was, teetering the line, the out-of-bounds sideline. Just couldn't quite collect herself.
Three ball in and out for Grace Green. Palmyra, 1 of 11. These two teams combining right now for 1 of 17 from downtown. Ball trickles out of bounds here. Good defensive play there. Some of these mistakes by Pawnee City have been self-inflicted. I credit that to good defense there by Riley Walter.
Yep, jumping out there on the pass, making things difficult as the Indians try to reverse court, work the ball around.
Bree Gira throws it up floor. And a pass that gets deflected ends up in the hands of Badacher, who missed one. Walter, the offensive rebound, put back. And finally, on a third attempt, Earhart draws a foul. And she'll go to the line for a pair here. 2 points on the night for her at the end of the half.
Yeah, and it's just the aggressive nature from the Lady Panthers. I think it served them very well here throughout this contest. But a lot of those 50-50 balls, second shot, third shot opportunities, as we saw right there, probably led most of the way to this 10-point lead.
Earhart makes the first. Palmyra 4 of 8 at the line in the ball game. Second on its way, and that one off the mark, and it goes out of bounds. Still will stay with Pawnee City. Palmyra building on their largest lead. It's a 5-0 Panthers start to the second half. Ball pushed up floor, towing the baseline is Pierce, and she stepped out of bounds as she approached her Pawnee City bench, and it's another turnover.
This is twice in a row where guards for Pawnee City kind of lost track of that sideline.
Wide open at the free throw line is Earhart. She'll make those all day. A shooter of 53% on the season. It's a 5-point night for her, and the lead up to a dozen for Palmyra. And this one will stay with Pawnee City. Another near turnover, though, there, as Gira will check out of the ball game. Back in is Kara Pierce.
Riley Walter just has such great vision. That last assist that she had, a long pass, finding a teammate.
On the ground with the basketball was Cisco. She traveled with it, was on her backside, just couldn't get set. That's a travel every time. 7 straight possessions with turnovers now for Pawnee City.
Yeah, it's been tough. It really has.
Here's a corner three on its way up and down. Xylee Badacher with the second make of the ball game for Pawnee City. Or excuse me, for Palmyra, second for either side in the game. She's got 5 points all here in the third. Palmyra on the brink of running away with this one. Cisco to the corner. Benson throws one up, missed it short, but a foul, and she'll go to the line.
This is going to be important here for Pawnee City to try and get something going offensively, and from the foul line might be a good spot.
Palmyra looking to end a drought of Mudecas championships that goes back to shortly after I was born in 1998. Many of these players weren't even alive the last time this team won this tournament, as the first free throw is up and good for Kara Pierce.
Kind of dating yourself there a little bit, Jake.
A little bit. I got nothing to hide. I'm young. I'm aware. Second free throw by Pierce. Takes a little extra time, but it pays off as she makes both. That's the first time tonight a Pawnee City Indian has made both free throws at the line. That's a foul every time. Hard collision there.
Yeah.
Madeline Osborne gets together with Vasa, and Osborne picks up her third.
She's going to have to be careful here. She knew it was a foul right away. A little frustration with herself there.
Pass right side, splitting the wing. Badacher pulls up, nothing but net with the mid-ranger.
Look out for Badacher. Hits the corner three, mid-range jumper.
Long throw up the floor here. Osborne still trying to find the first field goal of the second half for Pawnee City. Won't happen here. They give it back to Palmyra. Long pass up the floor, and Green hauls it in. The three from the left wing off the mark for Walter. Thought about trying another one off the offensive rebound. 26 seconds on the shot clock. Again, first year Mudecas has had a 35-second shot clock. We haven't seen a violation yet here tonight.
No, there's been decent pace, but we've also, let's be honest, we've seen a couple turnovers.
23, turnovers for Pawnee City, 12 for Palmyra. 3 seconds on the shot clock. 3-ball up. It's good. Finding fire is Xylee Badacher. She's got 10 points in this, the third quarter, 12 for the game, and all 3 makes from downtown for the Panthers.
Credit to the Palmyra Panthers. Looking up number 20 right now, the hot hand, and continuing to find her.
Walter with it at the top of the key. Riley Walter with just 6 points in the game, leading scorer for either side in the stat book. All of those in the first quarter. Final 15 seconds here of the third quarter. There's about a half a second differential between the shot and game clock. And you see a foul here against Pawnee City. That one charged to Pierce as she picks up her second.
We have another substitution here to try to protect Osborne, playing with those 3 fouls.
The inbound will come from Green. Kicks it into play to Badacher. 10 points in the frame. Can she make it 12 or more? She dishes it off to Green. 3-ball long, tapped at. Chance for a put up at the horn. And before that happens, Walter fouled. She'll go to the line.
Yeah, really nice job establishing herself on the other side. Actually picked up a kind of a loose ball off the hands of one of her teammates, but she went right back to the rim and into attack mode to get herself back to the line.
Walter, good from the line. Her first point since the first quarter. Started in every game as a Panther since her freshman year, and she's midway through this, her senior year. Second one on its way, and she goes 1 for 2. The horn sounds on the third quarter, and Palmyra can smell it. Can they find their first Mudecas championship since 1999? They're 8 minutes away. 24 minutes down, 8 to go. It's an 18-point lead for the Panthers.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. By Schaefer's, we are more than just TVs and appliances. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Do you know when the worst time to find out your sump pump isn't working? The day you need it. At John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, we're offering a $59 sump pump inspection, so you won't have to find a watery surprise in your basement after a storm. For just $59, our licensed and experienced service professionals will examine your sump pump, inspecting its major components to ensure your sump pump is ready and working when you need it most. Hurry, this offer won't last long. John Henry's, serving your family since 1996.
"24 minutes down, 8 to go as we get ready for the fourth and final frame on News Channel Nebraska. 41-22, Palmyra with the lead. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Johnson County Hospital in Tecumseh, Schmidt Excavating out of Adams, and Downtown Family Vision in Wilbur. He's Andy Klassen. I'm Jake Bartecki. Great to have you with us for the first of our Mudecas doubleheader tonight on News Channel Nebraska. I think the game we're going to see in just a little bit here between Falls City, Sacred Heart, Johnson Brock, that's going to be a great one.
It really is. 2 top-ranked teams going at it, of course, for the trophy and all the hardware.
And that's a matchup that has been dominated by the Irish. In the last 30 meetings between those two teams, 28-2 advantage for Falls City Sacred Heart.
You know, you're not surprised that Falls City Sacred Heart would have so much success, but not quite that lopsided, I wouldn't have guessed.
Grace Green from just outside the paint has now scored in every quarter. She's got 11 points in the ball game, and it's 43-22. Now there's a tough shot. Kara Pierce, a baseline floater, and she's up to 7 points.
Really nice touch going off the glass there, driving down the right side, as you mentioned, as we're going to get a timeout here from head coach Branston Maibaum.
We'll take one with them, but before we do that, our fourth quarter is brought to you in part by Visit Lincoln. See and experience all that Lincoln has to offer. Discover more at Lincoln.org.
This broadcast is brought to you by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Southeast Community College. Head to southeast.edu and discover your path to possible.
Quick timeout called by Braston Mybaum, fourth-year head coach for Palmyra. There you see him here in the blue polo, rocking the khakis. A lot of coaches like wearing khakis. Jim Harbaugh, for example.
Is that what it is?
If it works, it works.
Yeah.
Though I guess it didn't work last weekend for Jim Harbaugh, did it?
Not quite.
Back to the top of the key here, Riley Walter. Been quiet much of this game. Misses that one short, but an offensive rebound underneath and a takeaway.
There it
is. And we heard the horn sound there. I don't know what that was for. Shot clock hadn't run out.
Ooh.
Up the floor, Gatula drove in. Drew a foul here against the Panthers.
It's going to be Walter getting a little too aggressive, running through a screen.
It's just her first foul of the ball game. 13 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game, and 2 assists per game. With a lead to the basket, Benson tried to drop it inside for Cisco, couldn't get the pass through. It's now 24 turnovers for Pawnee City. Their season high is 30. I don't know if they'll reach that, but it might be close if this keeps up.
Right.
Thompson, chest pass to Vasa. She got tangled up, allowed a three for Walter. That one no good. Offensive rebound, Green. And driving in off the pass was Kaylee Thompson. She's fouled. She will go to the line once again.
You know, that's where a lot of the success has come from. These second shot opportunities. The Panthers are really getting after it, crashing the boards.
First free throw on its way. Thompson, nothing but net. 8 points on the night for Kaylee Thompson. Averages just 3.6 per game, so well beyond that mark. She's more than doubled it despite still being in single digits, and she's got 9 now as she goes 2 for 2.
Yeah, and early on she had a couple really nice offensive plays off the dribble.
Pass down floor to Benson, and it was deflected out of bounds by Walter. Nice defensive play that'll keep the ball with Pawnee City. Adeline Cisco on the bench, obviously with 4 fouls here. So a size advantage, or I guess less of a size advantage for Pawnee City, more of an advantage for Palmyra. Off the miss, an offensive rebound. Gatula got to the rack, couldn't finish. And the rebound off the floor picked up by Walter. She brings it across the timeline with 5.5 minutes to go. Vasa to her right. Green over to Walter, looking for her first triple of the night. She's found it, and it's 48-24 Panthers.
Yeah, she's been looking for that shot for a while now. Had a couple good looks, rim out. That time, nothing but nylon.
She's into double figures, 10 points in the game. Lead pass deflected. It was Charlie Badiger, the senior, who got her left hand on it, but it was last touched underneath the basket by an Indian, and that'll go the other way to Palmyra.
Yeah, and Kara Pierce tried her darndest to save that ball and get it back in bounds. The hustle's there.
Turnovers will be, I think, the thing Coach Timothy Cluck will look back on in this one.
Yeah.
Floater in the lane, too strong by Thompson. But you can't expect to win a tournament final with 25 turnovers. Make it now 26 after the walk in the lane by Pierce.
Yeah, just you don't really give yourself a fair shot. You're giving away too many possessions. You know, possessions that you don't get a good shot, a good look, and you didn't make, oh, that's a tough foul. You didn't make Palmyra earn as many stops as what you would have liked going in.
The foul was on Pierce, who picks up her third. Here comes Adeline Cisco back into the ball game. Erica Gira, who's played good minutes tonight. I've been impressed with Gira defensively.
Yes. She's been a spark plug. She really has. We saw her go on a run there in the second quarter where she would cause a turnover, save a ball from going out of bounds on the other side. She really has been getting after it.
Ball in the corner to Thompson. This is Vasa with it, the libero in volleyball for the Panthers, with a dish out to Green, who rims out the three-pointer. This one goes out of bounds, and Palmyra gives it back to Pawnee City. The Mudecas basketball tournament on NCN is brought to you in part by Ranke Manufacturing in Deschler, Norder Supply, your full-service agronomy specialist, and Fillmore County Hospital. Drive to the rack here. Benson uses the window to find 2 points. She's got 9 in the ball game. 48-26, Palmyra with the lead. Kaylee Thompson back to the top of the key. It's Green, who finds Badicher, and the pass too tall for Thompson near the sideline, and Palmyra with back-to-back turnovers. Place is starting to fill up with some green and some more red. Obviously some red from the Pawnee City fans, but I think this place is going to be rocking for the A-Division final between Johnson Brock and the Irish.
I think you're right. Nothing new for Fall City Sacred Heart. So as they start to file in, making their presence known, we're in that bright, what'd you call it, Kelly green, Irish green.
Like the Eagles, the retro uniform. It's almost about the same there. Jump ball on the floor, going the other way to Palmyra here. It just, every game, you know, obviously as we see the replay of the foul here and the turnover, every game, and I've done a lot of radio this week for this tournament, you just feel the energy in the place increase just a little bit, even by every game, every day. And by the time you reach the A-Division finals, late at night, everybody's had time to get ready to go. They're fired up. Place is pretty cool.
It really is. Kind of lights up, like you said. You feel the anticipation with the crowd kind of build throughout the afternoon into the evening.
A nice find underneath, and the first 2 points of the ball game. Palmyra with a 50-26 lead. That was Grace Meyer with the bucket. Stick around at the conclusion of this one, 50-26 the score, but the action only continues with our A-Division game and, of course, our post game, where we will talk with both talk with the winning coach, I should say, and then, of course, our player of the game. It's all brought to you in part by Sarpy County Tourism. I got a feeling if you did talk to Timothy Cluck, though, I'd say the number one issue was turnovers.
It has to be the focal point. You know, looking back at this one, it never got better from the first half to the second half.
Kara Pierce drove in the lane, tried to find one off the glass, and a whistle and a foul against Palmyra here. That's on Myers. That's her first. That sends Pierce to the line. Check that, Benson at the line. First free throw, good. As we mentioned, we'll also talk with our player of the game, brought to you in part by Nebraska Orthopedic Center and Roe Buick in Grand Island and Roe Buick of Aurora. Offensive rebound on the free throw for Pawnee City, and another foul. This will send Pierce right back to the line.
Obvious foul. Good job getting in on Dorn, the defensive player.
Pierce, long deep breath before she takes the free throw. It's like a golfer standing over a putt. Not until she's absolutely ready. 2:21 to go in the ball game. Both teams beginning to open things up a bit here in terms of the bench players getting in. Everybody going to get a little Mudecas championship final experience.
Yeah, and you heard a little applause from the Palmyra crowd there as Riley Walter took a seat. That was a fine job she had done throughout this entire tournament, picking up the slack with a couple of losses due to injury.
Pierce makes the second, and we've got a timeout. We'll take one with them. 50-28 the score. Palmyra destined to end a long drought of Udeca's success.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. By Schaefer's, we are more than just TVs and appliances. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy. This broadcast is brought to you by Roe Buick in Grand Island and Roe Chevy in Aurora. And by News Channel Nebraska. Want to know which games we're televising each week? Follow us on X at NCN Sports. This broadcast is brought to you by Western Oil. Make your first and last stop to and from the game at your nearest Speedy Mart or good-to-go convenience stores today. See the trainer. Need relief from pain or support for recovery? Don't see just anyone. See the trainer. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln. Proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Two minutes, 21 seconds remain in the girls B division finals. The Udeca's basketball tournament, and a defensive breakdown, lining to the rim and finding a basket. Ellie Anderson, nothing but the rim in front of her. There was a defensive breakdown there.
Yeah, a little bit of a blunder. You had multiple players get behind the defense, and you mentioned a moment ago, there's a lot of reserves now checked into the game. They just weren't really aware of where they're at on the court.
Inbound here for Pawnee City. Ball kicked into play and brought up the floor here. I'm gonna have to check the other side of the program here, Andy. We're getting deep into the bench.
Yes, we are. That's always nice to see. Some of the underclassmen get a chance here, play at the Udeca's historic tournament.
Bree Gira passes to her left, your right, the viewer. Now tie up underneath. Somehow coming away with it was Ottersburg. She's unable to find the rim there. Another turnover for Pawnee City. The ball brought up the floor with 100 seconds to go. 3 on its way. That one off the mark for Dorn, but an offensive rebound picked up by the Panthers. At the top of the key, it's Anderson. Scored her first bucket of the tournament on the last possession, and a deflection here by Ottersburg, who's probably the best player remaining on the floor, the player that sees the most time for either side.
And Grace Green over there for Palmyra. She just checked out, so now you have a whole slew of reserves entered into the game.
Off the side of the backboard with the miss was Meyer. Push up the floor here. And a deflection near steal. Deflection goes out of bounds. Watch out. Right underneath us here at the scorer's table. Watch out, Rich Huvendick. Public address announcer for the auditorium. Also all Beatrice Sports. The inbound kicked into play. Dorn to the corner. 3-ball on its way. That hits the side of the backboard, and that'll be a turnover for Palmyra. Stick around for our top plays, brought to you in part by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. Our top play is also brought to you in part by Southeast Community College. Big tie-up. Gira gets into it with Ellie Thick for Palmyra. Jump ball goes the other way to the Indians.
Yeah, I don't think anyone minds the jump ball there.
Pass left side. That one off the mark. The rebound chased down, but chased out of bounds. They'll stay right there. And there's a three up and good. Knocked down in transition. Good looking stroke and shot there. Off the bench, Cold, make one from downtown, pretty good.
Yeah, off the inbounds pass there. Good to see some of the reserves with some success on the offensive side for Pawnee City.
It's Pawnee City's first and only make from three on the night. But this Friday night at the Mudecas basketball tournament belongs to the Palmyra Panthers. For the first time since 1999, they are tournament champions. Not a single player on this team was anywhere close to being alive, but the drought has come to an end. Our congratulations to the Panthers, who knock off Pawnee City by a score of 50-30. Our post game is next. Andy Klassen. When we come back, we'll meet with head coach Braston Maybaum, as well as our player of the game. That's coming up.
Do you know when the worst time to find out your sump pump isn't working? The day you need it. At John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, we're offering a $59 sump pump inspection, so you won't have to find a watery surprise in your basement after a storm. For just $59, our licensed and experienced service professionals will examine your sump pump, inspecting its major components to ensure your sump pump is ready and working when you need it most. Hurry, this offer won't last long. John Henry's, serving your family since 1996.
When the game wraps up or even before kickoff, our community welcomes you with open arms. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is happy to have you here, and we want to show you what we're all about. From wide open spaces to music, shopping, entertainment, and more, there is always something for you to discover in our city. Stop by the Visitors Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit Lincoln.org. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Let's get moving, Nebraska. Show us how you stay healthy and you could really make a difference. Capture these moments, whether it's a walk in the park, playing with your kids or pets, biking or swimming, or even cooking a healthy meal, and share them with us. Each week, one lucky winner will choose a school to receive a $500 donation from Medica. Join the fun and make a difference. Submit today at newschannelnebraska.com and your school could win $500. Stretch Across Nebraska, presented by Medica with News Channel Nebraska.
Teammates Mentor proudly serves 10,000 students in 192 chapters across Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, South Dakota, and Wyoming. But we need your help.
We're recruiting Teammates Mentors to help our students reach their full potential.
Meeting with a student once a week can make a positive impact in their life and create a ripple effect in our communities.
Go to teammates.org to learn how you can get involved. Join the team, be a mentor.
Shop Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram during the Start Something New sales event. Browse our full lineup of new Ram trucks, like the rugged and capable 2025 Ram 1500. And take advantage of our current offers happening now. Visit one of our 2 convenient locations in Blair or Bellevue today. Serving our customers since 1991. This is Woodhouse.
This broadcast is brought to you by Beatrice Movies, located on Court Street in Beatrice, Carlson Irrigation, your Rinky dealer in Shickley, and by Community Insurance Group in Tecumseh, Sterling, Humboldt, and Pawnee City. This broadcast is brought to you by Landmark Implement, with 16 locations throughout Nebraska and Kansas, and by Premier GMC. We are professional grade. This broadcast is brought to you by Precision Seed and Chemical and Friend, Scooters Coffee in Beatrice, and by Twin Rivers in Fairbury and Beatrice, the high-volume, low-hassle place to buy. This broadcast is brought to you by Sunland Seed. Mike Holtmeyer, your Pioneer Seed Wrap with Sunland Seed of Beatrice. And by Weekend Warrior Roofing in Chiclee.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back. Sure.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes, the wedding bands. We'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
We are back in Beatrice at the historic auditorium in downtown. Well, I'm joined by champion head coach Branson Maibaum. I didn't hear any Prince, but we're going to party like it's 1999, the last time Palmyra won this tournament. What does it mean to you and the team?
Means a lot. We've been through a lot of adversity. Having two senior starters go down. We've had a whole bunch of people step up. Not only the people that were playing on the court, people on the bench. You have two people go down. You have to have people in practice step up for scout team, and they did that.
You guys have put together quite the winning streak coming out of that holiday break. Down a few players. How have you guys been able to do that?
Teamwork, man. These girls work so hard. Teamwork. I'm so lucky to be their coach. I'm so proud of them.
In the first half, you guys had some turnover problems. You cleaned things up in the second half. What was said at the break to kind of get that ball rolling in the right direction?
Finish shots with possessions. Honestly, just know that shot's going to fall here eventually, and they did, and our pressure got to them, and I'm really proud of them.
You mentioned you're down a couple of senior key contributors. Our player of the game was Riley Walter, a senior who's filled up in a big way here, a big void. Player of the game, leading rebounder, one of the leading scorers here tonight.
Yeah. She's just a heck of a person, man. She's been my point guard for 4 years, and she's just an awesome person, man.
Coach, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the championship.
Thank you. I made a deal with the girls. I have to DJ their school dance now since we won this, so that's what I'll be doing next.
Oh, well, good luck,
Thank
sir.
You. Appreciate it.
Play some Prince, 1999.
What was that?
1999. Party like it's 1999.
Oh, I don't know what the first thing you said was. I was 3 in 99, so I don't know.
All right, can you round up Riley for me? We'll be right back with player of the game after a break.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The yellow jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people, you know, we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
Welcome back to the auditorium. We'll try to find Riley Walter, who is our key player. Wanted to grab her for an interview. We'll try to get her down here in a moment. But 50-30, the final. Palmyra, gutsy effort, and I think Coach Branson Maibaum said it the best way you could. This team's been through a lot lately, and they were able to get the job done. Two of their best players go down in the holiday tournament, Chambers, Schroeder, and they're still able to get it done. Leading scorer in the ball game, that was Riley Walter, who had 10 points, also 10 from Grace Green. Xylee Badager, actually, she was the leading scorer. She had 12. Nobody had more field goals than Walter in this one. Turnovers obviously were a major factor. 28 for Pawnee City and 17 for Palmyra. We'll be back after this. We'll try to find us Riley Walter so we can get a word with her.
Whether we're talking commercial or residential plumbing, Lamel Plumbing is the place you call. Lamel provides 24-hour emergency service as well. Call them if you get in a tight spot. And as for their retail items, well, you got to check out some of their faucets, some of their kitchen items, and some of their bathroom items like their Onyx showers. And hey, say you've got a digging job, you call Lamel Plumbing for that too. They've added a full-time crew for you, doing backhoe, trenching, and sewer work. Take that digging job off your list and have Lamel do it for you. That's Lamel Plumbing in Beatrice, now at their new location on North 7th Street in Beatrice.
This broadcast is brought to you by Landmark Implement, with 16 locations throughout Nebraska and Kansas, and by Premier GMC. We are professional grade. This broadcast is brought to you by Precision Seed and Chemical and Friend, Scooters Coffee in Beatrice, and by Twin Rivers in Fairbury and Beatrice, the high-volume, low-hassle place to buy. This broadcast is brought to you by Sunland Seed. Mike Holtmeyer, your Pioneer Seed Wrap with Sunland Seed of Beatrice. And by Weekend Warrior Roofing in Chicley. NCN Sports is brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. By Schaefer's, we are more than just TVs and appliances. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Welcome back, everybody, as we are courtside with the player of the game, senior Riley Walter. How does it feel to say that you guys are champions here at the MUDECAS tournament?
Yeah, it feels great. This team just been through a lot. Seniors especially have had a lot of adversity with injuries, so I'm just super proud of this team.
Now, you've been a starter since day one, a 4-year starter since your freshman time. You mentioned the adversity. What does it mean to you personally to be able to step up, fill the void, and walk away with some hardware and some trophies?
Yeah, it just means so much just to see how far this team has come. My freshman year, like winning 3 games and just getting to be back here with my teammates is just amazing.
Scoring was tough in the first half, but that's when you did most of your work. Your 7 of your 10 points tonight came in that first half. What led to that mindset, getting those buckets when buckets just weren't falling for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, really, like, it was a whole team effort. So I'm just super proud of every single girl that stepped up tonight. Every girl had a role on this team, so I'm just really proud of them.
You guys did have some turnover problems in the first half, really cleaned it up in the second half. What was said during the break to kind of help that along?
Yeah, I just kind of calmed down, and, you know, we can break a press. We can do this all the time, so it was just kind of mentally just refocusing, yeah.
You guys have started to put together a little bit of a winning streak, 3-4 games in a row now. How can you keep this momentum going?
Yeah, I think this tournament, these last 3 games, have given us some good momentum going forward, so I'm just super excited to see what this team can do.
Riley, thank you for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All righty, Jake, let's send it back to you up in the booth to wrap this one up.
All righty, thanks, Andy. Thank you to Riley and Coach Maibaum as well. Well, 50-30, Palmyra wins it, and they win their first MUDECAS basketball championship since 1999. Congratulations. Let's see how we got there. Our top plays brought to you in part by Currency. Do you need financing for RVs, ATVs, or other expensive items? If so, Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. Our top plays also brought to you in part by Southeast Community College. Go to southeast.edu now and discover your path to possible. It was the 1-seed Panthers and the 3-seed Indians. And in the early going, opening up the scoring, Xylee Badicher, she had 12 points in the ball game. And then off the steal, the lead pass up floor to Kinsley Benson. Lays in the transition layup on the breakaway. She had double figures tonight for the Indians with 10. Here is our key player for Pawnee City. That was Madeline Osborne. Nice nifty move in the lane. She finds 2 of her 7 points in the night. We head to the second with the Panthers up 13-10. First 3 of the ball game for either side, and it's Grace Green who had 11 points in the win for the Panthers. Off the miss at the end of the first half. That was a missed 3-pointer, and the only points of the first half for Audrey Earhart. The Panthers head into the locker room up by 5. 25-20 the score at the break as we head to the second half. Palmyra looking to end that long drought. They get an easy 2 points here. Defensive breakdown for Pawnee City. Earhart able to find the open space in the middle of the lane. Corner three up, corner three down. Xylee Batacher with a dozen tonight in the ball game for Palmyra. More sharing of the love in the basketball here. Good pass by Walter, back to Batacher. She knocks down another one. Heading to the fourth quarter, this one very well in hand. 20-plus point lead for the Panthers. Another triple, this time Riley Walter. She missed her first 5 from downtown, but she makes one there for only make from 3 on the evening. Nice take again. Really nice offensive night for Kinsley Benson, who had 11 points in the loss. But the night belongs to the Panthers. They'll celebrate outside of Lincoln. 50-30 the final, and they win the 2025 96th edition of the Girls B Division in the Mudecas basketball tournament. Stick around when we come back. There you see the green and red on the floor. Falls City Sacred Heart, Johnson Brock, the main event, the A Division showdown at Mudecas.
This broadcast is brought to you by Roe Buick in Grand Island and Roe Chevy in Aurora. And by News Channel Nebraska. Want to know which games we're televising each week? Follow us on X at NCN Sports. This broadcast is brought to you by Western Oil. Make your first and last stop to and from the game at your nearest Speedy Mart or good-to-go convenience stores today. See the trainer. Need relief from pain or support for recovery? Don't see just anyone. See the trainer. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln. Proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Do you know when the worst time to find out your sump pump isn't working? The day you need it. At John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, we're offering a $59 sump pump inspection, so you won't have to find a watery surprise in your basement after a storm. For just $59, our licensed and experienced service professionals will examine your sump pump, inspecting its major components to ensure your sump pump is ready and working when you need it most. Hurry, this offer won't last long. John Henry's, serving your family since 1996.
When the game wraps up, or even before kickoff, our community welcomes you with open arms. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is happy to have you here, and we want to show you what we're all about. From wide open spaces to music, shopping, entertainment, and more, there is always something for you to discover in our city. Stop by the Visitors Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit Lincoln.org. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Let's get moving, Nebraska. Show us how you stay healthy and you could really make a difference. Capture these moments, whether it's a walk in the park, playing with your kids or pets, biking or swimming, or even cooking a healthy meal, and share them with us. Each week, one lucky winner will choose a school to receive a $500 donation from Medica. Join the fun and make a difference. Submit today at newschannelnebraska.com and your school could win $500. Stretch Across Nebraska, presented by Medica with News Channel Nebraska.